Welcome back to my channel. This is Steph, Stitching with Steph. If you're new here and you like what you see, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Go ahead and comment where you're from and let me know where you're watching this video from. I always like to know what state or country people are watching my videos from. And then go ahead and click that bell notification so anytime that I do a new video, you get notification that there's a new upload. If you're a subscriber, thank you for returning today and watching this video with me. Today we're going to be reviewing 3 stamped cross-stitch kits. 2 are unbranded and 1 is by DIY Cross Stitch. As you can see here on the screen, these are the 3 images that we're going to be reviewing. Go ahead and stay tuned and we'll get right into these reviews. The first up review that we're going to do is by DIY Cross Stitch. I like to call this one Lighthouse by the Seaside. As you can see, this is a beautiful image and it has a lighthouse on the seashore in a cove with the sun shining in the background and some crabbing cages as well as a dock. Let's go ahead and get right into unbagging and reviewing this product. First up will be the paper pattern in this kit. Here is that beautiful lighthouse by the seaside. So you might hear some crinkling because I haven't taken these ones out of the packages. I'm starting to get to the part of my stash now where I've bought so many beautiful kits and patterns with the intentions of stitching things for people. Lighthouses reminded me of my dad, so I like to get lighthouses in remembrance of him. My dad has since passed away, so I kind of just keep these in there, but I'll get to them eventually and probably frame them and give them away to people that I know that like lighthouses. So as you can see, I got this off of more than likely VIP Cross Stitch or 123 Stitch or off of AliExpress. I do like shopping those overseas countries a lot more because I feel like they're more budget friendly. Again, no kits that I have ever purchased or will continue to purchase have been over $20 at any point in time. When I start reviewing more in the future of more recent products that I have purchased, I will disclose the exact dollar amount. These have been purchased for so long that I don't really know how much this particular kit costs, but I know for certain this did not cost more than $10 to $20 at the most. So please forgive me. I am going to get this opened. I'm sorry for the crinkling. For those of you that don't like it, I should have opened this before. I didn't think about it. I apologize. So let's see what comes in this kit. As you can see, I haven't even opened it. So let's see. Okay, so here is that paper pattern. First in my reviews, I always like reviewing the paper patterns to see how they hold up. Overall, the quality of this pattern, it's pretty good, I would say. I'm going to go ahead and fix the focus on this so you guys can kind of see the quality. There we go. It's not too bad, to be honest. The symbols are pretty good. Oh, sorry. The symbols are pretty good. It looks like that they're yeah, it looks pretty good. It's on a simple 8 by 10 sheet. So it'll be easy for you to mark up when you are stitching if you want to stitch this. This is the code SZXC526 and it is a 40 by 50. And it's 129 stitches by 173. As you can see by the paper pattern, it's a full stitch. Here is the key code. It does have full stitches, no back stitch or half stitches here. It is 25 colors according to the paper pattern. So I would say it's nothing spectacular. It's on a regular sheet of paper, which I like it when it's on these versus that glossy paper, because if you really want to, you can take a picture of this and put it into your like pattern keeper or into your iPad notes or some sort of application that you can mark up on it, so that way you don't mess this up. But if you're an old school stitcher, this will do just fine in my personal opinion. Next up will be the actual canvas in itself, so bear with me while I get that ready for you. Alright, so here is that canvas. Let's go ahead and review from top to bottom. It does come with 2 needles in this kit, so I'm going to actually go ahead and remove these because I'm going to put these into my stash of needles. I do, for overall, to be honest with you, I know some people with a 14 count and an 11 count, I feel like there's not that big of a difference to separate out my needles, but there are 2 different sizes of needles. I just put all these with the similar sizes, and I'll put on my containers 11 count, 14 count, so I know what pattern they go to. Let me go ahead and stick those to my needle minder. So across the top here, it does have the, again, that SZZC526 40 by 50. This, since it is a DIY cross stitch, it does not have a serged edge. Again, I have never had any issues with non-serge edges. The most issue that I have ever had, if they're not cut correctly, which this one seems to be cut well, is it snagging my floss. So if you really care about it, you can thread it if you really want to take the time with it. I just wax my threads and I just re-wax them, and I try to stay away from the edges. In this instance, it looks like the pattern is pretty well centered, is what it looks like. So here is that pattern. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and roll this so we can kind of take a look. And it looks like those symbols are nice and clear, to be honest. Okay, let's go ahead and look at it sideways to see how well it fits. Okay, again, gotta love the camera. Hold on, let me take it off of autofocus here so it stops making. I am so sorry, friends. I think it does that. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot. Again, I just got this camera. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot. I think what it's doing is trying to auto adjust because of the pattern, if that makes sense. Because it has a whole bunch of images and it's trying to figure out where to focus. Let me see here. It looks like, okay. So I just have to take it off of that auto adjust, and I'm so sorry, guys. So there's that. It does have the key on the side here. I'll go ahead and show you. Here's the image, and there are all of those. Ooh. Let me see. Hold on. What is going on here? I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and adjust some of this here. I am so sorry, guys. There we go. Let's see if that helps. Okay, that does. I had to reduce the sharpness some. So let's take a look at that paper pattern to see if any of these symbols match, which it does. I always compare the first 2. So if you look here on the canvas, it is 1. It is that symbol, which is really weird, a black square yellow outlining, and it does match the pattern, as you can see. This is probably one of the clearest images that I've seen printed on a canvas. It is a full cross stitch, like I've stated before. There we go. That sharpness, bringing that down, happened to help quite a bit. It's not that big, to be honest. Let's see. Like, not even my whole forearm, as you can see. So fingertip to here. Let's take a look to see how big this actual canvas is. Let me break out my handy dandy measurer here. All right, friends, let's see. It is, the actual stitching canvas is a little under 30 centimeters by, let's see, by 39 and a half. So you could probably, if you dedicated your all your stitching time to this. You could probably knock this out in a couple weeks depending on how much you stitch. Again, I stitch pretty often because between work, school, and all those fun things, work, school, kids, I like to stay inside or enjoy the outdoors. I really don't like going to a lot of public places given what's going on in our world today. So I kind of try to keep to myself or socialize with my coworkers and family. So I could probably knock this out in probably about a month myself between those activities. Let's go ahead and roll this up. It doesn't look like there's too much confetti, which I love given the last couple of patterns that I have chosen to review. Those images, those symbols, as you can see, are nice and clear in those boxes. So overall, I feel like the quality of this canvas is pretty good. It's not too stiff. It's easily manipulatable. The symbols themselves inside the boxes, when looking at them, as you can see, yeah, guys, I am so sorry about that. I'm going to have to troubleshoot. I apologize about that. Because for some reason, it should not. I'm thinking it has to do with my focus here. Hold on. There we go. I am so sorry, guys. But as you can see, those symbols are nice and clear printed inside the boxes. So overall, this canvas is of good quality. Not bad for, I mean, honestly, it's good for it being a cheaper kit. Next up is our thread. So bear with me while I get the thread ready for us for review. All right, here are those beautiful threads, friends. As you could probably see in the image itself, there's a lot of beautiful blues, and I love these blues. It does have all the 25 colors listed. It does have the canvas number on there, so I don't have to worry about writing it on there. But look at these pretty colors. Just so many. I might actually put this one into my whip rotation for the summertime, just because it's so pretty. There's a lot of blues, and during the summer, what is more beautiful than swimming in the ocean and crabbing and playing in the sand and seeing beautiful lighthouses? Has anyone ever done a lighthouse tour? When my dad was alive, we used to go to the Pacific Northwest and we would tour lighthouses. And that was probably one of my favorite things growing up with my dad. So that is why lighthouses remind me of my dad, because every time we took a trip to the coast, he made it a point to make sure that we visited lighthouses. So let's go ahead and go over these colors here, friend. So color number 1 is 154, and it's like a purpley, like an eggplant color, I would say, as you can see here. Color number 2 is 157, which is this beautiful light blue, sky blue color. Color number 3 is 318. I think this is the highlight of any kit, is when you open it up and you're like, oh, it's a good canvas, and then you see that the pattern is printed well, and then you look at these beautiful colors. Does anybody else get excited stitching with beautiful colors? I do. 4 is number 371, which is like an olive green color. 5 is 453, and it's a grayish brown color. Number 6 is, let's see, 500, and it's like a forest green color, as you can see. Okay. Number 7 is 645. It's another grayish green, just a little bit darker. Number 8 is 648, and it's just like a steel gray. Number 9 is 794. Oh, look at, I bet you that. Let's see. Number 7. Let's see, what is it? Oh, I see what it's going to be. It's going to be this in the background. So all of that, like light blue. So all of this in through here. So that's going to be really pretty. Number 10 is 826. Number 11 is 844. It's kind of a light brown, a mix between a brown and a gray. Number 12 is color 919. Let's see where this would be. Because it's only one color, I'm assuming it's going to be in the most randomest spots. Let's see. Number 12, 919, blue background with a greater than sign. Wow, this one's probably going to be like a confetti color because it's kind of, I can't really find it on the paper pattern. Blue background, greater than sign. That's how scarce it is in this pattern. So that's going to be interesting to find. Color 13 is 939. Those of us in the stitching world know this is that dark blue that people prefer versus 310. 14 is 3031. It's like a mocha color. As you can see, a beautiful mocha color. 15 is one single strand again, and it's 3363. It's another olivey green color, but a darker one, as you can see next to the white back here. There you go. 16 is 3750. 17 is 3753. 18 is 3760. This is probably my favorite color out of this whole thing. 19, I like probably these two. These two colors are my favorite. 19 is going to be 3765. It's like a peacock color. 20 is a 3768. Okay. 21 is 3770, which is a cream color. It reminds me of vanilla ice cream, like vanilla bean ice cream. 22 is 3774. 23 is 3799. 24 is a golden color. And 25 is just like a muddy brown color. So overall, the quality of these threads, there's no peeling. I'll just grab a random one. As you can see, there's no peeling on these, which is nice. Can't wait to stitch these colors. These colors are beautiful. I look forward to putting this one. I'll probably put this one into my whips, to be honest with you guys. Here is that beautiful pattern for the lighthouse, seaside, lighthouse by the seaside. Let's go ahead and get ready to move on to our next pattern, which is going to be, I call them colorful double dragons. Bear with me. Next up on our review here is going to be this beautiful colored double dragon. I would say like kind of like a mandala, but I wouldn't necessarily say a mandala. Very Eastern Asian traditional style dragons. I really like this pattern, as you can see on the screen, is how colorful it is. I haven't opened this package yet. This is just like our previous one. I haven't even taken a look at the threads. So I'm really excited to dive in this one. So let's go ahead and get this unwrapped and moved into that paper pattern first. All right, friends, here is that package still sitting in all its glory, sitting in my stash. As you can see, I'm going to be unpackaging this, so bear with me if there's any crinkling. From reviewing of my last quick snip video, it didn't sound like my mic picked up too much sound, so give me 1 second. Try to be as quick as possible. Let's go ahead and take a look to see what all's included in this paper here. So we get a little snippet, which is nice if you do like a little scrapbook for your stitches. I don't use that. I just use these to put inside my bag to see what the design is. It comes with this how to cross stitch how to cross stitch instructions if you're new to it. Again, these kits are typically all encompassed. And then here is that paper pattern. As you can see, color 16 is very dominant, which is going to be 939, that lovely dark blue. It is printed on that glossy paper as usual. It's fairly a good size, so that way if you do need to reference this, you're able to do so. I don't think my camera will pick up on it, so what I will do is I'm going to see if maybe it will. Bear with me. I'm going to do a zoom in on it and then try to see if the clarity will pick up on it. Bear with me. If you see all the little fine gridding out in the yellow? That's each little box that is stitching for the particular pattern or representing the canvas. So if you look like right there, you'll see like a shadow of a grid. In the yellow, it's representing each individual box on the pattern, which is kind of nice. This is, let me do our focus there. This is a 60 by 60. Let's zoom out a little bit more. It is a 60 by 60, but it is, I mean, it's a relatively standard paper pattern. It has the image here. It has the key here for all of the colors. Again, full stitch, no back stitching, no half stitches. All right, pretty standard paper pattern in my opinion. Let's go ahead and dive into the canvas. Here's that canvas, friends. It's a pretty big size, but as you can see, it is not a full stitch, so that's always nice. It looks like it is 225 stitches by, let's see, 225, so it's a pretty square canvas. It is a 60 by 60. Here is the code MTL. This does tell you that this is an 11 stitch here. There's really nothing else on this particular pattern to identify it, so I wouldn't be surprised when I get into the threads that nothing is marked on there. There's a pretty clear picture here. Here is the key code. So let's see, does it match? Normally with these unbranded kits, the key code will match what the canvas says. So one is a circle 370, and it looks like one is a circle 370. The only difference is here on the canvas, it doesn't show you the color of the thread, but versus here on the paper pattern, it does show you a resemblance of the colored thread. This is not serged. So this one I can already tell has been cut a little wonky, as you can see here. So what I'll probably do is probably be very careful with this particular canvas. I don't like the way that this canvas was cut. So it is not serged, as you can see. Overall, the printing quality seems pretty clear. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Oh, I have to do it this way. Sorry, friends. Let's see. There we go. I can only do about a half a screen for you guys. There you go. There you go. So the printing on it is actually pretty good. As you can see, it's within the squares. Doesn't seem off very much, so let's go ahead and bring this back down. And then what I like to do is to kind of go over this one. It feels like there's really not much to this particular canvas. There's going to be a lot of that background color, which I'm going to assume is 939 according to the key. which would explain why there was so much thread. This is an 11 count. Let me see what the instructions say here. Normally they'll tell you, hey, use this many threads. Let me see here. Yeah, even on the paper pattern, it doesn't tell you. Luckily, I know the majority of my items I do an 11 count, and I can just tell by how large this particular, the stitching is, like the squares. I can tell that this is an 11 count. 14 count is more condensed. All right, and again, here are 2 more needles to add to my needle stash. Some kits will come with like a full kit. Some will just come with the needles to stitch your project. The last 2 have just been needles, so bear with me. So again, this canvas is not very thick. It's not very thin either. It's pretty pliable. What I'm going to do is if I stitch this one is not going to go into my whips right away, just because I'm going to have to put a little bit of TLC into prepping this one, to be honest, just because of the edging on this one, because I don't want it to keep fraying on me. So I'm probably going to have to take some of my excess DMC floss and then just stitch the edges right quick to keep it from fraying, and that in itself is going to be a task. So what I would do is on not the very first row, but the second row all the way around, I will just do a quick stitch every couple of boxes to seal off to keep it from fraying even more. So again, this is probably not going to go into my whips just because I don't want to have to do that right now. Maybe later, but this will not go into my active whips. It's a pretty easy quick stitch with all the color blocking. There is quite a bit. If you look, there's color blocking. There really isn't. I wouldn't say confetti. I have kits that I reviewed that are more confetti than this. So that is the canvas, my friends. Bear with me while I get our threads. Prepped for review. Okay, here are those threads for us. So we have one big hank of that 939. I don't even have to look at this to know that this is 939. There you go, 939. It's just because that 16 was so predominant on that card, or on that canvas. It is 26 colors as stated before. Let's go ahead and go over those colors. This does not have it listed, so bear with me while I write down real fast the code so I know what this belongs to. TL187. Okay, there we go. We'll go over these colors together. So first up, let's see. Sorry, I have to get my paper pattern and read off the colors to you. First up is color 1, which is color 370, which is like a dark gold color. Now you see why I called it Rainbow Dragons, not just by the image. I knew these colors were going to represent that. 2 is 606, which is a reddish orange color. Number 3, let's go ahead and do it this way. Number 3 is 677. Number 4 is 704, which is kind of a mix between a lime green and a foresty flowery green, I would want to say. Let's go ahead and do, there we go. So you can kind of get a better idea. Number 5 is 740. This reminds me of the orange part of a flame, so it makes sense on why it goes in with this kit. Number 6 is 742. And as you can see, the quality of these, even though the canvas is going to require me to do some work to stitch it, luckily the threads are of good quality. They're not all peely or anything like that, as you can see. Beautiful. Let's see here. Number 7 is 743. Oh, sorry guys, I accidentally turned on my auto when I shouldn't have. I try to keep it at a standard so it doesn't zoom in and out and try to autofocus on you guys. Learned that lesson very quickly. There's that number 7. Number 8 is 780. It is like a light muddy brown. So like when mud is in the midst of drying, that's what it reminds me of. Number 9 is a golden brown. That's pretty. Number 10. Oh, number 9 is 782. Sorry about that. Number 10 is 799, which is a blue color. Number 11, a lone strangler, 817. I could see how sometimes if you're not used to stitching with DMC, 666 can be confused with this color, but once you guys see me stitching my dragon cross stitch, you'll see like how vibrant 666 is. Number 12 is 820. It's a royal blue. That's very pretty. Number 13 is 890. Reminds me of leprechaun green. I know that sounds a little bit ignorant and naive sometimes, but that's the best way to explain it. Like I would see this color probably in like some St. Patrick's Day or some sort of like Celtic type cross stitch. 14 is 898. It's a darker brown. Number 15, a lone strangler of 906, another green. Here is 16, the 939, and this goes with that hank of blue that we have. It's a dark navy blue. Just call it what it is. We use it in substitute of black. Number 17 is 972. Look at how pretty that golden yellow is. Oh, that's so pretty. 18 is 973. It's more like a sunshine yellow. 19, let's go ahead and do 19. This is really pretty. Again, that peacock blue. 19 is 995. Okay. Number 20 is that dark chocolate brown. Number 20 is 3371. You'll see this often with a lot of like landscaping cross stitches. Again, number 20, 3371. 21 is 3752. It's a silvery blue. 22 is 3755. Not very much of this color, but it's a pretty color as well. 23 is 3844. 24, this is a true golden color. 24 is 3852. As you can see, it's a true golden color. 25 is 3865, which is that off-white color. It looks really white, but it's an off-white. And then 26, 3866, which is another off-white. These are only one DMC code off from each other, as you can see. All right. That is a review for our threads on the Rainbow Double Dragon. Bear with me while I get this one put up, and we'll move on to our third and final review, which will be my April monthly stitch. So bear with me. All right, here's that April monthly pattern cross stitch. I do have these all set up so that way every month I'm starting a new one because I do have an entire calendar year's worth. The only one that I started before my YouTube channel was an October one because, hello, Halloween, right? So over the course of the next year on my YouTube channel, I plan on stitching for the month of April, May of May. So as you can see here, this is going to be my April stitch. I haven't even opened this canvas. Again, just like my two previous one, it is an unbranded canvas kit. So let's go ahead and dive into the papered pattern and take a look at the canvas and the threads. All right, here is that April showers brings me flowers, so naturally it is labeled spring. I did, in the previous clip, I did put a stock photo. You can find this on AliExpress. That's where I got the stock photo from. Just type in monthly calendar cross stitch and it will literally bring you to the one that is offering all 12 of them. Let me take a look at what they're offering for it, or the cost on AliExpress. Bear with me, because I know that I paid a similar cost when I bought this. I may have bought it on AliExpress. I don't even think my orders go back that long. Let me see. It looks like if you do it on AliExpress, you can go ahead and click whatever month you want. And so we're in April, and it looks like it is a 12-month series counted 11 count printed fabric canvas. It is the same size as this, a 35 by 35, and it's $5.53. So again, just go ahead and type in, what did I put? Month cross stitch pattern, and that's what popped up. So let's go ahead and unbag this. Wait for the crinkling, friends. And we'll go ahead and pull out. Wait. There we go. Let's just get rid of that little lone string. Look, and let's pull out this paper pattern that we have here. So just like the rest of the unbranded kits, that Y11 count 60,000-449 gives you all the specs for this particular canvas. Let's go ahead and zoom out just a smidgen, Ernie. It gives you cross-stitch instructions on that thermal photo paper. You can see how long it's been in my stash. You hear this? Kind of stuck together, that glossy thermal paper. 126 stitches by 126. It is 11 count, and it is 22 colors, full stitch, just like I usually like, symbols, DMC colors, and then a resemblance of the colors of the stitches. So again, nothing fancy when it comes to this paper pattern. Pretty straightforward. I can already tell I'm gonna like stitching this and all the little butterflies. I will be honest with you, I always do the background color last. I like stitching all the little details first. The border will typically come second, but as you can see, it's very user-friendly. It's easily readable. So let's go ahead and dive into that canvas next. And again, this is the April spring calendar that I'll be starting in the month of April for a stitch along. Right here is that canvas, friends, and it did come with this little kit, so I'll go ahead and review that. So 35 by 35. Again, one of those little snack ones that if you want to do it throughout a month. I'll be honest with you, I've been working on my March one on a consistent basis, and I feel like I've barely put a dent into it. I think I've gotten maybe 2 or 3 colors done on my March one. So I don't anticipate that I'm going to finish this April. It'll probably be next April. So it'll be one of those that will stay in my whips throughout the year, and I will only work on this in the month of April, just so that way it's a fun little stitch along for all of us. If you want to do something like this and say this is your project for the month, I would say, hey, go for it. You could probably knock this out in easily a month if this is your only project that you're working on. I have multiple, so of course it's probably going to take me 2 seasons. For this being a $5 kit off of AliExpress, not too bad. Again, those serged edges, you're going to get these little thread nugs, as I like to call them. I just snip those off, honestly, real quick. I'd rather take care of it now than later, because I'll probably forget. ADHD problems. The image that is printed up here, not very good. So it's not very good on the actual printed pattern as well, as you can see. So can't expect it to be too good on here. The key code on the side here is very clear. Let's go ahead and take a look to see if those colors or the key matches what our key code is. So number 1 is this side blue. Let's go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see with me what I'm talking about. Alrighty, and then let me... Okay, there we go. Alright, so that number 1 is a half square blue, DMC 155, and it shows on the canvas, number 1 half square blue, 155. So this pattern does match this. Overall, it's a good quality canvas. And again, not super stiff. If you were to stitch this in hand, it'll soften up on you pretty quickly. It is a full canvas. So it is, again, 126 by 126. This one looks a lot smaller, even though it says 35 by 35. Let's see what the actual stitching canvas is going to be. Let's go ahead and go out a little. Okay. So here we go. It is, I want to say 29.5. That's probably the same this way as well. Actually, I stand corrected. It's going to be 30.5. So it's 1 centimeter longer length than it is width. So 29.5 by 30.5 is the actual stitching surface of centimeters. Let's take a look at the symbols. Overall, I would say the symbol quality, I'm going to fold this in half for us, is actually very clear. And let me go ahead and zoom in on this for you. Okay, there we go, friends. That quality, again, for it being a $5 kit, they're printed right inside the boxes. So you're not going to have any issues when it comes to stitching or thinking that one box is next to another. As you can see, they're well within the designs. I don't see any pattern or any symbols that you could confuse another for. Let's see, 18. No, I would say that you probably, there's really no confusion of 2 types of patterns, to be honest. It's going to be a fairly easy canvas to stitch. Again, if you want to mindlessly stitch, get a solid color one. This one you somewhat have to pay attention to, naturally, right? But I feel like this would be a good beginner one. For someone that's trying to get the hang of block stitching, you're trying to go from, for example, there's 5 of these symbols, and then there's some more here, and you're switching colors, but you're not switching too much. You can get your practice in with some pin stitches here. So overall, I think this is a pretty good canvas, and I'm looking forward to stitching this in the month of April, because here comes summertime. Is anybody else besides me ready for spring and summer? I'm ready to be by the pool with my kids and out hiking and doing all the fun things in the mountains. So there's this as the canvas. I'll go over this little kit. Some of these do come with, as you can see, it's just a whole little kit. And I think all of my monthly ones come with this. I'll be honest, I don't remember. As we progress through my channel, we'll be able to see. We got a seam ripper, which, by the way, you would think that you wouldn't need this very often, but trust me, you may, because you may end up messing up a stitch, which I did on one of my recent stitches. There is a threader, a plastic card bobbin. Here's those little poofy things that I was talking about, and then it looks like I got 5 needles, so that's kind of nice. Let's put those over there. And the dreaded metal thimbles. I do not like these. My finger, it just doesn't fit my finger properly, and if I snatch it, I don't like sweating in them. All right, so that's it for the canvas. Let's get ready to go into those thread reviews. So bear with me while I get our threads ready. All right, and here are those threads, and they're packaged. Honestly, I don't mind when they package them this like this because it protects the stitches really well. I just don't like all the extra plastic. So when I repackage this into my whip bag, this is another one that will go into my whips. I will put this into my vinyl mesh bag. I'll just give you a quick sneak peek of what my vinyl mesh bags look like this. And I hold even my big projects. So let's go ahead and open this. Bear with me. I'll try to be as quick as possible. I'll check back on my audio to see if that crinkling sound does show very loudly or not. I did try to get a noise canceling mic to help with those crinkling sounds and the neighbor's dog barking and cars and stuff, because my recording room / office is not soundproof, unfortunately, but hey, real life, real problems, right? So as I can see right away, this card is not labeled, so let's go ahead and write this on there. I'm just going to put April calendar, just because I'm not writing April calendar. There we go. So let's get into these colors, friends. I'm going to put my scissors here to hold down my paper pattern. All right, so color number 1. Let's go ahead. A lot of pinks and purples, as you can see. Beautiful. Let's go over each individual color themselves. So first and foremost, color number 1 is going to be 155. Let's go ahead and zoom in so we can see these colors. And let's do some. There we go. So 155, beautiful spring color, purple. Number 2 is 159. It's a silvery purple, I would like to say. Wow, I am struggling right now, aren't I? I'm sorry. And there's that one. It's a silvery purple. It looks more like a gray on screen, but it has a purple undertone. Color number 3 is 208. There's only 2 strands of this, so it's probably not a very dominant color. And as you can see, the threads are not pilly at all. Color number 4 is 209. And this one's 210. So look at how close when they look the same on screen, but when you look at them, this one's a little bit darker and this one is a little bit lighter. So this one's darker, this one's lighter. Number 5, which is this one, is 210. Number 6 is 223. And it's a purplish, not purplish, it's a pretty pinkish red color. Okay. Number 7 is 318. So let me get this out. Number 7. This one's a true like grayish silver. Okay. Number 8 is 333. Again, I love having a white desk because then I can use it as my background and not have to do extra work. Number 9 is 739. It's a cream color, a peachy cream color. Number 10 is 758, and this is a true peach color, as you can see. Number 11 is 762. I haven't really seen this color before. It's like a whitish silver. It's white with the silverish tint to it, like a grayish tint. It's kind of hard to explain. But as you can see, my desk is white, and then this is like a whitish gray. Number 12 is 819. There's that. And it's a very soft pink. I would say like a baby pink. It looks like an off-white, but in person it is a very soft pink. Number 13 is 3072. Okay. And it's a greenish, it's like a light green color. Number 14 is 3608. This reminds me of like a Hello Kitty pink. This is something that you would see with Hello Kitty. 15 is 3689. There is that color. Sorry about that. Okay. Number 16 is 3713. There's only 2 strands of that, so it's probably used as an accent color or a shadowing color. Number 17 is 3722. And it's a mauve. This is a true mauve color. Okay. Number 18 is 3727. And this is like a pink. It's lighter than a mauve, but darker than a pink with a hint of silver. That's the best way I can explain it. Number 19 is 3746. It's a purple color. Number 20 is 3752. There you go, 3752. It's a silverish gray. Number 21 is 3806. It's like a peachy pink. And 22 is 3865. The only reason why there's 1 strand there is because I have 2 hanks here. All right. Again, the thread quality is pretty good. I wouldn't say that it's bad. I'll probably, like all my others, Blossom, the canvas is pretty good as well. So there is a review of all of our threads. All right, friends, that concludes the review for this week. As you can see, these 3 beautiful images are easily available on AliExpress. At any point in time, go ahead and go through my video and take a screenshot and then just throw that on into AliExpress's image search and you'll be able to find it because I'm pretty sure that's where I got all 3 of these. If you're new here and you still haven't clicked that subscribe button, please feel free to do so if you enjoyed my review and my content and in-depth details that you like. If you would like, just hit that bell notification so you can get reminders on, when I'm loading new videos. If you want to go ahead and leave a comment of what you liked, didn't like, what you would like to see in the future, I'm all ears in regards to that as well. Any of my subscribers, thank you for coming back today and watching this review video, and probably was stitching right along as you were watching this video if I know my subscribers well enough. If there's anything that my subscribers would like to see, go ahead and leave a comment in my video. I do try to respond back within a reasonable amount of time just to stay interacting with my viewer base. If you want to follow me on any other social media, go ahead and continue on through my video. I have my Instagram linked, which is stitching.with.steph. I have a TikTok as well. My QR code is there. Who knows what's going on with that TikTok ban? I do use a VPN, so I'll probably stay active. I'll find a way around that just to keep my TikTok live because I do get quite a few views over there and views that will come on over to my YouTube. Again, thank you for stopping by my channel today, and I look forward to seeing you in another review or hearing from you guys and maybe one of my stitch-alongs with my other projects. Have a good day.